You are watching the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts. My name is Juan.
And I'm your other host, and my name is Jean Paul Leek.
And together we are Roll Break. How's every single one of you? We hope that you're doing great. WrestleMania weekend is finally here. It doesn't feel like it, but we're going to pretend like we're feeling like it because we're so filled with joy, filled with excitement because the grandest stage of them all is set for both of us, for everybody to enjoy 2 days of incredible wrestling.
Yep, we had the go home show of go home shows. There's no more previews, no more hype for WrestleMania. Did this show hype us up? Are we excited?
Not too much, but I want to tell you, it wasn't as terrible as it could have been. Actually, a little bit of like storytelling right there. The promo from John Cena, and the main event, that was not too bad. Like he looks scared as like F when like the Fiend, let me in. He's like, dude, social distancing.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Yeah, he's like, I know you're wearing a mask, but that's not the right kind. Come on, like, get
Come
away.
on. It's like you can win the match, but don't get me sick. I don't want to be done. So yeah, it was a decent show, I want to say.
No, I do agree with you there. There was more intrigue on this episode of SmackDown, but if the rumors that we heard are true and they're pretty much done after Mania, they're going to take a little break. Now's not the time to kind of build storylines. Now's the time to kind of wrap things up and think about storylines, but I'm not going to complain about them planting the seeds for things in the future. And what I'm referring to is the mastermind hacker at all the computers there, but we'll get to that in more detail when we get there.
That's right.
But at least they did a little something instead of just Baron Corbin, Elias, Braun Strowman, the usual cast of forgettable characters.
The one thing along those lines, the one thing that I want to say is like the crappy superstars, the acts that nobody cares about, video package, that's it.
Yep.
So that's how they always should do this. The storylines that nobody cares, the meaningless things.
Yeah,
the video package, whatever.
Yep, the meaningless storylines that only one man, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, cares about. Hey, Vince, they were on the show. We had a little video package. Okay, done.
Move. And we got confirmation finally from WWE, the thing that we already knew from like a week ago, that Braun Strowman is going to be replacing Roman Reigns at the shows, WrestleMania. So we just got confirmation. They did not say why, though. They did not say why. Also, we got Ric Flair against Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 24. Like Jean Paul said, legit match. It was like a really very emotional ending. It was a really emotional picture, but of course Ric Flair has to like mess that up 5 minutes after, 5 months after this whole thing. He gets inducted, he gets a beautiful ring and everything, and then Shawn Michaels actually gave him something also. And
he gave him a watch. He gave him a watch, I believe it was, and it had it scripted the date of WrestleMania and all this other legit stuff. And then he goes to TNA.
And then he went to TNA. But, we're not going to elaborate on any of that. We're not going to say any additional stuff besides saying thank you to all of you for keep watching, for keep supporting us. We have a lot of great content. We have, starting out with like Monday Night Raw, American Badass is Bad, Jean Paul. We talk about this. Boneyard match. Jean Paul and I were doing our research, and we found out that Boneyard is actually the synonym of graveyard. It's the same thing as saying a graveyard match. So they just don't want to say graveyard because of all the situation that is going on with, the coronavirus and everything. So that's why they just took like Boneyard. But it's the same exact match. So get ready to see like kind of like a cemetery, things like that. We have a great video on that. Monday Night Raw, the go home show for WrestleMania. We have AEW, Jean Paul. You can walk us through that.
Yeah, AEW. I mean, they had some. They previewed the new tournament coming up. We saw the debut of the Murder Hawk against Marco Stunt. Okay, that kind of took the wind out of the sails there. And we saw some more stuff with Vanguard 1, Matt Hardy, going visiting Chris Jericho. Saw some stuff like that. It was kind of a mediocre show at best from AEW, but I feel like they're still giving us legit wrestling. This show just kind of fell a little flat.
Yes, absolutely. We have predictions for WrestleMania for tomorrow. We have all 16 matches like laid out for you guys, and all like what we think the outcomes are going to be. all of that, and is in the channel also. And Jean Paul, we have NXT. Keith Lee
Yep.
retained the title.
Yeah, NXT. I mean, it was the NXT. I thought was a better show. I didn't actually see the ratings. I'm sure AEW did better, like they normally do. But I thought that this show for NXT side was a little bit better. It wasn't the most exciting show. Like I said, Keith Lee. We're still basking in his glory, but we're not. We're kind of like, like we want to see something different. At least you and I both do. Because maybe it is no crowd, like we said, or maybe it is just he's getting a little stale because he gave us so much in the beginning, but it's like, how much more can he really do? And we're both really happy, even though she didn't win, with the performance of Shotzi Blackheart, which was legit.
Yeah, so it was a decent show. So like we have all this content laid out for you guys. And Jean Paul, you said the ratings. AEW did 680,000. Against 590,000 for NXT, so another night that like AEW beats them. Like you said,
and you got those numbers are low. Those are real low compared. You know what I mean? I shouldn't say real low, but normally they each have at least 300,000 more. So I don't know. I don't know if the president was on or if people just aren't watching because people are just, I don't know. It's like you think
they're just watching Rover. That's what it is.
I mean, our numbers have been up, so maybe.
Yeah. So thank you,
That's
sir.
Legit.
Don't watch those shows ever. Just watch us. Exactly. Don't watch those shows ever. Just watch us. So, Jean Paul, SmackDown started out with the tag team division. It started out with the New Day, the Usos, and the Miz and John Morrison. And they're like, the Usos are out, and then they come out instead of the Miz and Morrison because it was featured like Miz TV. That was supposed to be the opening segment, and they're cutting a promo about becoming champions. Then the New Day comes out, and Big E. And he goes like, power positivity. The only thing that I say on that is like, we need that positivity to go over.
And can I just say one thing? I did actually.
You can always say anything.
I actually did laugh during this. So the Usos come out. They could have decent-ish promo. No pun intended when I say ish, but a decent-ish promo. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I thought that they would fall dead with a flat crowd, but I'm like, okay, whatever. Then the New Day comes out, and Big E's like, he's always like, oh, Minnesota, or wherever they are, oh, Atlanta, or, wherever. He's like, oh, people at home. And I laughed. I was like, okay, that's pretty funny, like, instead of like, oh, and he could have said like Performance Center.
I would have much rather Performance Center, though, because I would have laughed even harder.
Yeah, he's like, oh, people at home. And I'm like, okay, like Big E, he makes me laugh, so.
He's
good. Like, I got to give him, yeah.
And also when they go like, it's like, you guys are talking about becoming the W. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, dude. I'm like, okay, that's all right. So they were start arguing, and then Miz and Morrison came out, and then the Miz said, don't mind us. It's our show. And they talk trash about the challengers, and they stayed at the top of the ramp. And they climb up, and then the two of them, they climb up on the big ladders that they had, and they said that they're just being jealous. Like the New Day and the Usos are just being jealous. So then they start attacking each other. That was pretty much the whole segment.
And the one thing that they also said, which I agree with, they were like, it was just like a month ago that we beat every single tag team in our entire division. And they're like, yeah. And Morrison was like, yup. And it was one of those things where I'm like, if you think about it, it's really like, okay, yeah, like, the Usos and, the New Day are bickering because it's like, oh, we had you guys beat. And they're like, no, we had you beat. They're going back and forth. But if you think actually what Miz and Morrison were saying is like, they beat every tag team in the whole division. If you're asking me, they shouldn't even have to defend at Mania.
Yeah.
Because they just beat everybody. If anything, at Mania, you just do a number one contenders match. But, I mean, obviously that won't do numbers. Not that this Mania will do numbers to begin with. But it's like, if you're looking at it from like an in-universe storyline aspect, it's like, yeah, Miz and Morrison do have a point, but I'm excited for this match. Do we actually know? I know we went over it in previews and predictions. Is it actually confirmed a triple threat, or is it a 3 tag team?
No, I think it's a triple threat. Don't quote me on that though. Don't quote me on that. I just know that because again, the Miz is out. The Miz is completely out. The Miz did not perform at WrestleMania.
Okay.
So I think is a triple threat. I'm thinking, but like you said, we don't know. There hasn't been really spoilers, and I haven't really looked because I want to watch WrestleMania and pretend that it's live because that's gonna at least give me some kind of assignment with the outcomes. So I really don't know, but like I'm thinking again, the Miz and Morrison are going to retain because you're not going to do a title change, but you can always say, well, the Miz wasn't even here, I was by myself, so he
Yeah,
wasn't fair and
no,
all that.
no. Like you and I, like we don't need to go over our predictions because go watch our video if you haven't already. But that's the thing. So I agree with you there. I don't think they're going to do a title change, but I mean this like little beatdown segment in the beginning, like I said, besides a few things that I thought were funny and that made sense, it was like it was a decent opening segment, I
Yeah, it
guess.
was something that they needed to do, like you said, hey, hyped up the matches, pretty much.
Mhm.
Go there, hype your match, make sure people are kind of excited about it, and then we move on to the next thing, which we do, and then we get the confirmation that John Cena is going to be there in the main event, talking about Bray Wyatt and the Firefly Funhouse and his match with the Fiend. So now we go to the women's division. We go to the women's side, and then Naomi comes out, and then it's like Bayley and Sasha are like in commentary next to Michael Cole and everything, and then we get Lacey Evans come out. She's the one coming out, and then she like takes her hat, and then she puts it on Michael Cole, and also like she takes her skirt, and the skirt she throws it on like Sasha and Bailey. So like she goes to the ring, she's gonna have a triple threat with Tamina, Naomi, Tamina, and Lacey Evans. The match itself was decent, I will say. I didn't mind it too much.
Yeah.
The one thing, Bailey and Sasha were calling the match even better than what Michael Cole will do.
Yeah, because the whole time, I mean, to me, I didn't really focus on the match because I was like, eh. I mean, the one thing I did notice is they made Tamina look strong, which you needed to do because she was just placed in this thing out of nowhere. And she might not be the main story and the main focus of the match. I think the main story is really Bailey versus Sasha because of what Michael Cole was saying on commentary. But Tamina should have been the one to win this, and she should have been the one to look strong because she was thrown in there. And we already were like, oh, Tamina, when's the last time we saw her? Like when she was in a tag team, kind of with Nia Jax, and it was like, who cares? Like, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? So, like, if you have her look decent, we're kind of like, oh, okay, maybe she will do a little something in the Mania match. And I'm not saying she's the worst wrestler. Obviously, if she would be on TV more and this and that, she would be better, but it's WWE's fault for not using her. But I do agree with you. Bailey and Sasha were calling this match more, and it's all just because Michael Cole was trying to like poke the bear, as they say, or he was trying to add more fuel to the fire. He's like, oh well, Sasha, are you going to pin Bailey if Bailey's laid out in the middle of the ring and she's not moving? Are you going to try to go for the cover? And then Sasha wouldn't say anything, and Bailey would be like, oh, look at Lacey Evans dodging that clothesline, and they would try to change the subject. So like, I really do like that, how they were playing up the Bailey versus Sasha in this match. And it is an elimination match. Because he did say that, I think. He was like, oh, Bailey, what if you're eliminated first? And she's like, Michael, why are you asking such stupid
Oh
questions?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so like,
So
I
it
do
is
like,
elimination. Yeah, yeah. So
I
we'll see
do,
what happens.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll see.
I do like how it is elimination. And I still think, like, I mean, with that, I don't know if we knew it was elimination when we did the previews and predictions. I don't think so.
No.
But with that being said, I could see it. If I'm still gonna say that Bailey retains, and if not, Sasha Banks is the sneak to win it. But I'm still gonna go with Bailey. Like I said, to me, this match it's a little more interesting. I think I was shitting on this when they first announced it, but I'm a little more interested in it now. I don't know why. But
I do find like the match is gonna be interesting to see. Like all of the women, like I will say Tamina's side of them is probably the weakest link, but like,
oh,
the other four
yeah,
are pretty legit athletes. Lacey Evans not so much, but you put Naomi, Sasha, and Bailey, like, extremely three great women that've been fighting, in
yeah,
WWE like 4 or 5 years ago.
yeah, I still wish it was a one-on-one with Bailey and Sasha, but I mean, I don't know. It'll be okay.
Yes,
I won't go to the bathroom the entire match. Maybe just at the beginning.
yes, exactly. So, well, let's go to the sequences of the match, like we always do. Tamina and Naomi battle in the ring, and then Naomi nail a springboard kick off the ropes, and Bailey's like, "Oh my gosh, she hits that great! That's devastating!" And it's like, and Michael's like, "What are you gonna do if you get one of those?" She's like, "Really?" He's like,
Yeah,
like, and then Evans jump in, and then she hit a clothesline on Tamina as she showed off the ropes. Then Evans hit her with a headstand kick into the corner, and then Bailey and Sasha hug on commentary, kind of like best friends. They always have to like bring that back. And then Evans, she hit the slingshot elbow, and then bangs through Evans into the rope steps. Then Naomi kicks Sasha. Then Naomi hit the sunset flip into the ring for a 2 count. Tamina Nella Samoan drop for a 2 count. And then Bayley caused a distraction. And then Tamina Nella super kick on Naomi for the win. So Tamina gets the win, like you said. She needed to look strong. And there was another also like a post-match thing. Like Bayley's like trying to talk to Tamina. He's like, "Hey, you did great. Good job. Like, it's happy to see you back. Like, you're legit." And then Tamina goes, boom,
Yep.
super kick.
Super kick and done.
And done. And then Sasha's like, she's kind of like, remember the days of Team Bad? I'm bringing you back to like 4 years ago. Like, Team Bad was like Naomi, was Sasha, and Tamina. So Tamina just grabs her, Samoan drop. Done. So I will say, like, not a bad.
No, and I'm glad Tamina wasn't like dumb and like okay and like joined up with him and she's sticking up for herself. That's legit because then it's in the match. It's almost still like every woman for themselves. And one other thing too was Michael Cole. He asked Sasha. He was like, he was talking to him, and then Sasha goes, "Michael, who am?" He's like, "What time is it?" And he's like, "It's boss time." And she's like, "Yeah, exactly." She's like, "I'm the boss. I'm the best woman here. Blah blah blah. Bailey's the role model." And now it wasn't showing Bailey's face, but I almost wish it was because they were showing what was going on in the ring. I wanted to see Bailey's face when they said that because when she was pretty much putting herself over Bailey. And that's what I mean. I think they're both like, oh, we're legit. We're best friends. But then, like, whenever one of them says the other one's better, they're like, what? Like, I don't think so. I'm better. So I think in the match, it's going to be something where maybe one of, like, Lacey Evans or somebody's down. And then Sasha will go for the pin and Bailey will push her off and be like, oh, no, but see, I don't know. Not if it's elimination. They'll just eliminate everybody. So that makes the match. That's what I mean. It makes the match. Yeah, it makes the match a little bit more interesting since it's elimination. Because they'll probably work together until it comes down to just the two of them. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. So, like, despite of anything, WrestleMania is still a little bit interesting. I gotta say,
I'm still gonna get excited. I'm still gonna, have a drink.
Have
I'm
a shotzi,
still gonna, Oh, exactly. I'm still gonna, make the most of it. You got it. Anything in life, and now I'm gonna shoot a little bit. Anything in life is what you make it. You know what I mean? Even like a time like we're in now. Like, you can worry about it and freak out and make it worse than it is, or you can be smart, but, make the best of it and get through it. And that's what the same thing we got to do with WrestleMania. It's like, hey, the show might be in front of no crowd. It might be a little bullshit. It might be the worst yet. But you know what? If you go into it with that attitude and you're like, oh, this is going to suck, then it will. But if you're like, you know what? I'll just go into it and I'll see what I get. You'll probably be pleasantly surprised with a couple matches.
And still you're getting what you love is wrestling. So for me, and I do that a lot in soccer because, a lot of people like, soccer, sometimes the matches are great, sometimes the matches are not great. Matches that are, that are completely like in the paper garbage turn out to be great. So yeah, I love your outcome. I love your opinion on life. I like how your outtake on all of this. And we get to, we got to see Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, like I said. And the one thing we both of us were thinking is like, look at JR on commentary.
Yeah,
like,
AEW.
Yeah, we felt like we were watching AEW.
AEW.
They didn't even change the commentary. I mean, that's kind of like legit that they respect JR that match. So then we go to Otis and Tucker. They were backstage. So Tucker goes to Otis and he says, I was talking to Mandy, she asked about you. And he's like, what did she say? Was it today? What she was wearing? Oh, the flashy stuff? It's like, come on, dude. And it's like me going to, like, Jean Paul is like calming me down. It's like, oh my God, what did she say? What did she say? Come on, let me know. He's like, no, relax. She only asked about you, nothing else. He's like, okay. And then Otis gets a text. And then she goes running to the back. He's like, oh, our match is next. So, Tucker and Dolph Ziggler are going to have a match. The match, for what it was, nobody really cared.
Yeah, to me, I thought this was going to be legit because Tucker is an athlete for his size and his weight and everything. I was like, oh, this match is going to be legit. And then I felt like I was watching 10 seconds, and then what was it, zigzag on the steps and done? And I'm like,
zigzag on the steps, and usually was a DQ. Because
that's what I mean. Yeah, and when it ended in a DQ, I was like, I almost took off my glasses. I won't do it here because the family can never see. But I was like, what? Like, what? Like, because to me, I thought this was going to be legit.
Yes.
But what was legit obviously happened afterwards. But take us through.
Yes, exactly. Like, what happened after that is this. They are continue battling. I'm like Tucker and still like is still on the floor, down, and then Ziggler is starting to keep like beating him and everything, and then Otis comes out. So Otis starts gonna go and save Tucker, of course, from Dolph. But then Mandy Rose comes out and Sonya Deville, and it's like, stop, Dolph, don't, not anymore, stop it, done. It was
Yeah,
done.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
done, man.
and then you see
Tucker's
like a thing that
Tucker's
like
like,
they
can
do
I
a lot.
live?
Yeah, can I? Yeah, it's like, can you let me live? And
Yeah.
then you see like in the middle of the screen, you see like this thing like the truth will be heard, and then
Uh-huh.
you see like the other effect, and then there's video footage, and then you get to see like this guy in like kind of like Sliver, like the movie, like this guy that like from like what is Mr. Gadget, like Inspector Gadget,
Yeah,
Inspector
yeah,
Gadget. You
yeah,
see like
yeah, like the claw. Yeah,
that
yeah.
oh
It
yeah,
was guys like this sitting there, like he's like a hacker, all this other stuff. I thought it was like when he was in NXT for a little bit, Sammy Callahan.
yes,
You remember when
yes,
he was in NXT, he kind of had that
yes,
hacker, like weird, like thing. I thought that it's kind of something similar to that, and I was like,
yes, and
I'm like, oh, this is legit. Like you're actually, but I got excited, but then I remembered Eric Rowan in the cage, and I was like, well. You
yeah,
know,
well, but like
so it's like hopefully they do something with this because this is, when I
it
first saw this, I
yes.
was surprised.
Yes, and it said like the truth will be heard, and then there's footage.
Our truth.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's our truth because it says the truth a lot. But like, the video is then we get to see like again a video, and then we see how like Mandy's going to go to the date, and then Sonya grabs her phone, and then she starts sending texts to Otis. Then she's gonna be late and things. So pretty much we find out that like it was Sonya Deville and
Yeah,
Sonya
yeah,
Deville and Dolph.
and
She,
she deleted the text. Otis was
yes.
like, "Oh, okay, that's fine. I'll meet you at this time," and she deleted the text. So then Mandy was like, "Oh, what the heck? He's no showing me, so I'm not even, whatever."
Yes.
And then yeah, like you said, she was talking to Dolph, and she's like, "We'll both get what we want." And it's like, but we still don't really know what Mandy or what Sonya wants. I don't think, unless what
Well,
she
like
wants is
the one thing is like they're saying that we're gonna play this lesbian angle, but I don't
yeah,
know if they're gonna go
yeah,
that route.
but that one makes sense unless Dolph is like, oh yeah, I'll bang her, but you can, sleep with her too. You know what I mean? There was no like you're not gonna do a lesbian angle if she's with Dolph. So
Well, I
it's
mean, or
like
maybe
that's what I mean.
Dolph.
Yeah,
What you could play it off is like Dolph. He just like makes sure that like he's gets Otis out of the way, and
yeah.
then he just goes.
Unless he's just like the work boy, like work, and then Mandy's the shoot. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's what it is, something like that.
Maybe that's what it
I don't
is.
know. Like I
Yes.
said, I didn't. To me, that's what the only thing I was a little like, oh, what, like, well, what does Sonya actually want? Unless she just wants Otis to suffer because she hates fat people. Who knows? But it was
Yes.
still cool to
Yeah.
see. Like we saw the guy. He was recording it. Whatever. I don't know who it is. I don't know who it could be. It does have some intrigue.
Yes, for
So
example, who could it be, Japoli? I think it could have been either Mustafa Ali, I think. Why Mustafa? Because we
no,
haven't seen anything like forever, and
yeah,
he
but
plays
I
like,
don't want to.
this
No,
character about
yeah.
being clean.
To me,
You know?
I want to see somebody new. I don't want to see like a Chad Gable. Because to me, I'm like, what? Like they have nothing to do with computers or this or that. Like I want to see somebody new, something different. Maybe they sign somebody and they not, you know what I mean? Or like it's a gimmick change for somebody, but not somebody like that. I mean, I don't like whoever it is. I just hope like they do something with it and it makes sense. But I don't know what you would even do because it's like, okay, he exposes them and then, like, what does he do? Does he team with Heavy Machinery against who? Rude and Ziggler? But then it's a handicap. So what are
Yes.
you going to do? Bring Baron Corbin into this? Like, that's what I mean. I'm like, I don't understand, like, what you're going to do with this. But if you're going to bring Baron Corbin into it, then you bring Elias into it. Then it's uneven again.
It's
So
way
it's
too
like, I
much.
don't,
Yes, way too
yeah,
many. Well, you
yeah.
know who he could? It could be Jeff Hardy. He could be Jeff
I,
Hardy.
I was thinking it was Jeff Hardy at first, but then but I was waiting because he turned and he was looking down. Like we saw the hood up and he was looking down, so we couldn't see the face. And I was like, maybe he'll throw the hood up and then we'll see who it is. But he didn't do that. And I was like, they're obviously going to milk this because they want intrigue for the next SmackDown, whenever that may be. But like I said, we could speculate till we're blue in the face, but I guess we'll have to wait and
And
see.
it could be whoever else. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought it was you because the hood up, and I was like, oh, like is he like really doing?
yeah,
Is he working on more rope work or
yeah,
is he
yeah,
doing this?
yeah.
But and anyway, so Mandy Rose got pissed, and then she walks up with while Sonya is crying, and she follows Mandy. through the performance center, but Mandy just kept walking. And then Dolph, of course, he's like looking at Otis. Otis goes after his chasing Dolph, and then he kind of like tackles him, and then he falls, but then they kept running to the back. So like I said, decent stuff there. I'm intrigued. I'm liking this, but like you said, I'm not getting overly excited. Why? Because WWE is the best. They operate at their best when they feel that you're intrigued by something, and they will give you the absolute worst outcome. So now we go to absolute worst outcomes, to like something that it should have been a match for a pay-per-view, a match that like just gave it on free TV that didn't mean anything, and they could have made actually something out of this. Daniel Bryan against the artist Shinsuke Nakamura. Sami Zayn is in commentary, and then they're pretty much he's just trashing Daniel Bryan because they're gonna have their match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. What do you think of the match, Paul?
I mean, like you said, if you would have built this up and Nakamura, to me, I didn't care. And it was one of those things like, oh, Nakamura, he's going to go out there, soften up Daniel Bryan for Sami Zayn. And it's a shame because, I love Nakamura. You know that. And I think he should be presented way better. He should at least have been a world champion one time. And I'm talking WWE or Universal champion. Intercontinental champion is legit. But the way that belt has been presented the last couple of years, not legit at all. I think the last legit person to hold it was Seth Rollins when he had his run a couple of years ago. But it's one of those things where I really didn't care. I mean, you knew who was Nakamura going to win this match, Kinshasa and Dunn? No, Daniel Bryan was going to win, and it's like him, Nakamura and Cesaro are losers. Not in my opinion, but the way WWE presents them, they're losers.
Yes.
And at this point, I'm not going to go into this match going, oh, this will be a 5-star classic because both these guys are so great. No, I know this will be 6-7 minutes and done. And it will be a bullshit match because WWE, they don't care. And it's a shame, but that's how I viewed this match, and that's how it was. Earlier I said, it's all about your attitude going into things, but with something like this for 6-7 minutes, you know what I mean? I watched it, but in the end,
nothing came out of that with substance out of that, and you're right. And in the end, it was a DQ actually, so nobody wins. Yeah. So pretty much like we're gonna go like always sequence at the end. Daniel Bryan start nailing kicks, and then they trade forearm strikes. Nakamura and Bryan, they were having the best wrestling match they could possibly could. See, they went at it, but you said for nothing. And this should have been pay-per-view caliber match. They don't do it.
And it wasn't one of those things where it's like this match could have opened SmackDown, and you could have did the same thing like Trent and Kenny Omega did. Give these guys 15 minutes and actually have a put on a legit match, and it would have been like, oh my god, like what? Like, oh, SmackDown's actually putting on wrestling. It's not just like comedy bullshit. It's actually wrestling. No way. But
this is actually a good time, right? That what we would have said. Yeah, I agree. So the two traded arm bars, flipping over each other and tying each other up like the pretzels as they were traded the holds. Like it was really cool. Like back and forth. The one like kept countering the other one. Arm bars and arm bars. Good stuff. Then Bryan got the yes log on Cesaro, and they got the yes log on Nakamura, but then Cesaro jump in and then caused the DQ. Then Gulag, then he goes with the Dragon Sleeper on Cesaro, but then Cesaro powers up and then he moves Gulag actually. He puts him like over like the chairs and everything, so they kept fighting to the outside, and then it turned out to be like a 3-on-1, and then Nakamura hit the Kinshasa, Cesaro hit the neutralizer, all of them on Daniel Bryan, and then Sami Zayn gets the upper hand, which tells us, unfortunately, that Daniel Bryan is going to win the championship.
Yep,
because that's what happens.
If you're going into the WWE booking territory, normally that's what happens. Like we said in the previous predictions, we both want Nakamura. I wish he was still a champ. No, Sami Zayn's legit as champ, but we want him to retain because he had no defenses. He just won the title. It's not like he defended it or anything. So it's like I said, the main story is those other two guys and him in a triple threat match, not Daniel Bryan. Not like what does Daniel Bryan need with the title? And he also said that he wants to wrestle less. So why give him the belt if he doesn't even want to be on TV as much? Sami Zayn needs to actually get in the ring, have legit matches, legit title defenses, and you got to do something to build the Intercontinental Championship up.
Especially like what you just said is like if Daniel Bryan wants to wrestle less, why don't you just give Sami the time? And you're losing kind of like the legit guys in Daniel Bryan. Give that legitness, that legitimacy, give it to Sami Zayn. This should be his time. You know,
Yeah.
this should be, and then do this triple threat that you've been booking forever.
Yeah.
Cesaro, Nakamura, and Sami Zayn for the title, and get
Exactly.
Daniel Bryan out. You know, let him go to like Total Bellas and all of that. Let him like spend time with his family. He's about to be a father for the second time. Let him do that, and let Sammy be the superstar that he always envisioned to be, and we always as fans wanted him to be. So
El Generico.
you have it in one of our videos, like the crate, Lucha, El Generico with the mask. And, you know, he's already, like, telling us to wear a mask because the things in PA are getting worse as we speak. So, we're going to follow the steps of Sami Zayn, and we're going to put our maxes on. So, Jean Paul, main event time, John Cena comes out. Of course, one of the best promos in professional wrestling,
Oh,
you know,
definitely.
before, now, and forever.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
he comes out, he cuts a promo, and then he says, he's gonna bring. He thanked Michael Cole for setting the stage. Cena then he goes WWE made everybody wonder what's gonna happen when Raw and SmackDown happened without an audience. Cena said then that there were some moments, like, you know, see, at least he knows. He's like, you might know it. He's like, I know it's bullshit.
Yeah,
He's like, I know.
he's like I listen to Rope Break. They told me, you know, it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, it is kind of bullshit. That's right. So, but he thanks all of us for watching because there were some big ones too. You know, with moments. So now these are the final moments before WrestleMania 36. Then he says that nobody knows what's going to happen. He's even in a Firefly Funhouse match, and nobody will tell him what it is. But Cena said that the Fiend wants uncertainty because it can lead to fear and panic and collapse. But he says the Fiend has dominated WWE with uncertainty, fear, and panic, and here we are on the eve of WrestleMania, staring into the uncertainty, asking what happens next. And it's not Goldberg. It's not who's
Mm-hmm.
next. So Cena says that he will not panic, he will not be afraid, and he will squash Bray Wyatt and finish what he started 6 years ago. He steered it into a pro wrestling promo, but like it kind of like went from like Cena, you know, acting, kind of like, you know, like he kept going back and forth promo, and then he got upset and everything. But he was like, hey, I really enjoy it. Then he's like, you know, Bray Wyatt, like he sucks. Like
Yeah,
he has like
he went into like he went into like a face corporate, like, you know, like a work promo, like, oh yeah, you know, WrestleMania legit, blah blah blah. Then he went straight into shoot. He's like, he's like, you know, we're gonna finish what we started 6 years ago, and he's like, you know what, you know, and then he just went
yeah,
right
he
into
got
the
like the
shoot. Yeah,
intensity. He went from like,
yeah,
you know, 0 to like, you know,
yeah.
1,000 miles, and then he says he was ready to step aside, but the Fiend made the challenge, and he's tried to take every advantage, and he's still gonna get his ass kicked. Then Cena kind of like he laughed, and then he accepts he accepts the Fiend's challenge, and then Rambling Rabbit appeared. So he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't dead. Of course, I don't
Yeah.
know. He
And
reminds me of like
I like the one line where Cena was in this promo. I forget the other ones. He said, he's like, I don't care if it's a Firefly Funhouse or a Stone Cold Stun House. He's like, I don't
yes,
care what the hell. Yeah, like
yes.
Cena is just so legit on the promos and everything he says. Like I said, that intensity when he yells and he gets that like that really like angry, you know, going John Cena voice. It's one of those things where you're not just like, oh, okay, whatever. You're like, you know what I mean? Like you
You
stop
got
what
to
you're
turn
doing and you
around and
listen.
pay
Yeah,
attention. You
yeah.
gotta turn around and pay attention. John Cena, you know what? Whatever you can say about this guy, but we always have to be thankful because of him. You know, wrestling is been also on the map because a lot of people just know about John Cena. So
Oh
you know
yeah.
what? And his ability as a promo guy is all, you know, respect and
Mm-hmm.
admiration because this guy can turn into like this USB drive. He can turn
Exactly.
into a good promo. He's like MacGyver. He can
Mm-hmm.
turn, you know, like a piece of hair and, you know, into a bomb. I don't
Yep.
know how, but like, you
Yeah.
know, MacGyver can do that. Cena can do the same thing also. So talking about people that like we thought they were dead, not MacGyver, but Rambling Rabbit. He was supposed to be on Bray Wyatt's
Yeah.
like
He put him
stomach
in the blender.
in
Yeah.
the juices, yeah, you know, his juice, maybe in his piss, you know, his piss, or like, you know, in his feces or whatever. He appears, and then he's at the barricade, and then alongside with the rest of the Firefly house puppets, you know, Abby and
Yep.
the pig.
Mercy the buzzard, Huskus the pig. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
but John Paul knows, yeah. So like they're all like, oh, they're all talking, and they're like, hey, you know, you're gonna keep playing with us. You're gonna keep playing with us, and then kind of Cena like goes again to the actor mode, and then he's like, what the hell? You know, what the hell is going on? And then they say that like when the Fiend's done with Cena, they will play with him forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So then and they're like, oh, and then they did like a little bit of Poltergeist. They did a
Mm-hmm.
reference. I can see like the girl, with the white hair, and then they're here, like he's
Yeah.
here, and boom, like the Finn is right there. He shows up on the balcony, and he had a stare down with John Cena. But then suddenly, like the Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt, like he's like right there. He's right behind Cena, and he goes, "Let me in," and he goes, "Holy crap!"
Yeah.
Yeah, and that the show
Yeah,
goes up.
he showed up to John Cena when he was on the set of one of his multi-million-dollar movies. He was like, "Let me in," and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh,"
He's like,
he's like,
"What?"
"No."
Yeah.
He's like,
I
WWE is bullshit. Let me in the movie. And he's like,
He's
what?
like they live together. He's like, "Let me in." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? So again, really cool like promo. See, like at least, and I gotta say, Cena makes it so much better.
Yeah, Cena brings the intensity. This is the best match that you could do for the Fiend and to get John Cena on the show. John Cena said, it's in Tampa. It's not in Tampa anymore, but the original plan, it's in Tampa where he lives. He wanted a big moment. He's still going to get the big moment, and it's going to be a big moment for Bray Wyatt. All things considered, like I said, this is the best match you could do for both men, considering Bray Wyatt isn't the champion. Even if he was the champion, I still would have booked this match.
Yes, yeah,
Still would
absolutely.
have booked this match, and obviously you have Bray Wyatt retain. But to me, this is another one. Bray Wyatt can cross a name off his list. John Cena was a thorn in my side. No more. I cross him off the list. So I'm excited for this match. Probably excited even more because all the stuff that John Cena said, he's like, oh, you're a loser then, you're a loser now. He went in full
You're
heel.
like a team, like you're like a bootleg of like Mr. Rogers and
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
that. Like
yeah.
you're this
He went into
like a
full
cheap
like
ass
shoot.
version, like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
of like
full
Winston,
shoot promo. Yeah, exactly. And it was all legit. And like I said, when Bray Wyatt gets the win, hopefully, hope to God that they do not have Cena go over. So hopefully Bray wins. It'll just make everything more legit. So this is one of those matches that I'm definitely excited for.
Exactly. So I think, family, this concludes the review. We wrap this up. I think we're all kind of like, we are excited. I'm definitely excited. We have some gameplay coming up for you guys. Like we have a little bit of the matches for WrestleMania, playing WWE 2K19, and we have a lot of things in the making. We hear something. I'm hearing voices, and it's not Randy Orton. He's just hearing voices
Nope,
about a
nope. It's not.
universe.
It's not last man standing match. So
Yeah, it's I'm hearing, keep hearing things, and it's like the members of the Firefly Funhouse, like again, like Huskers the pig and Abby. Abby keeps telling me that like there's a universe coming,
yeah.
something is cooking. Like John Paul is staring, and it's not the recipe to be John Cena, but John Paul is gonna look like in the Looney Tune thing, and he's gonna be, I have the recipe. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of talk, and we have a lot of things coming for you guys. It's gonna be a busy weekend for us. We're gonna have both reviews ready, by Monday about all the 16 matches WrestleMania, both languages, Spanish, English, and even Jean Paul is like improving his French because that's where he was originally from. But we're gonna get there, and I think that like this wraps up the show. Like I said, it was out of all the Smackdowns that we've seen lately, probably this was one of the best.
Oh
And
yeah, this was definitely better than the past couple weeks. I do agree,
exactly.
100%.
Yep. So, family, thank you so very much for
Yep.
watching every single one of our videos. Thanks to the new subscribers, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you for considering us, for taking
Yep.
a little bit of your time to check us out. And, please follow us on the social media world. You guys
Yep.
know where.
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Follow us all on there. We got them all. Like Rope Break. Anytime you open your phone, because we know you're always on social media. What else is there to do? Anytime you open any form of social media, Rope Break will be right there at the top with tons of updates, tons of posts each and every day. So, hey, what more could you ask for? I
That
know
is
what
true.
you could ask for. You could ask for us to say one more thing, and I think that's really all we have to say.
And that is true. And we got to say,
Uh,
uh,
yeah.